the word. Now this one is going to be a bit long, so it might have about 2 parts, maybe 3, but we'll see how it goes. But I'll post everything for you guys to review, okay? But let's get into it. So today, Jeremiah 1 from 4 to 9. This came about because of a conversation that I was having yesterday with a friend of mine. We were talking about just the journey. I think we were talking about more about exercising, eating right, stuff like that, some other things. And I was like, it is to make the journey your own. Do what fits you. Make everything to fit you. It's okay to look at others, get ideas from them in just any aspect, because what they're doing may work for them, but you have to make it your own. Personalize it to you. Be unique to yourself. So let's get into this. So this, of course, was about Jeremiah and God calling him to do what he had to do. So it says, the word of the Lord came to me saying, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Alas, sovereign Lord, I said, I do not know how to speak. I am too young. But the Lord said to me, do not say I'm too young. You must go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord. Then the Lord reached out his hand and touched my mouth and said to me, I have put my words in your mouth. All right, so we're going to go ahead and break this down. We are all unique. This did not just apply to Jeremiah. This applies to us all. Of course, we know God left his word for us, not just as a book of instructions, but reminders and promises and other different things. So he lets us know, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. God knows who we are. He sets us apart. We're unique. We're different. None of us think the same. None of us act the same. We can relate. We might have similarities, but we're not the same. We're different. Each and every one of us are unique to him. And it says, I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. This, again, does not just apply to Jeremiah. It applies to us because he has called us to teach others about who he is, to remind others about who he is, and to just let everyone know about him, his love, what he has done for us, that he's calling us, all that. Then Jeremiah responded and said, Alas, sovereign Lord, I said, I do not know how to speak. I'm too young. So that was kind of Jeremiah giving God his excuse. Now, I don't know what God has called you to do. That is something you have to talk to him about. But whether it's your makeup business, your food business, your t-shirt brand, just maybe a clothing line in general, maybe it's to be a motivational speaker, whatever it is he's calling you to do, don't come with the excuses. Or you let him know how you feel, but don't make it an excuse not to start. So Jeremiah's excuse was he can't speak. And I know sometimes for a lot of us, that's what it is. We don't want to have to speak to masses or have to, speak with people. But we got to speak up, y'all. So then the Lord's response to that was, don't say I'm too young. You must go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and will rescue you. So again, God was like, this is what I'm calling you to do. Go out and do it. Say whatever I tell you to say. Do what God called you to do. Say what he wants you to say. And he said, don't be afraid, because he's going to be with you and he will rescue you. He knows people will come against what you're trying to build, your brand, your business, whatever it is. They're going to come against it. They're going to have negative things to say. But he says he's with you. He'll rescue you, meaning he'll deal with all the negativity. Just you keep the course. Stay where he has you. Do what he has called you to do. And he's got you. Then the Lord reached out his hand and touched my mouth and said to me, I have put my words in your mouth. Okay, you may not know what to say. You may not know what to do. Ask God to touch your mouth. Ask him to touch you wherever you need him to touch you, to give you that strength and courage to do what he has called you to do. Because he's there, he's listening, he's willing, but you have to let him know, what you need him to do for you. You have to speak up to him and let him know. But he will give you the words. If it's to move your feet, move your hands, guide you, direct you, whatever it is, he's there. So don't forget, you are uniquely and wonderfully made. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, God loves us. His word applies to us, not just one person or whoever we're reading about. It applies to us all. I know for me, up until last year, I was an introvert. Still feel like I'm an introvert. Did not want to speak. Did not want to do these videos. Never in 1,000 years, not even a year ago. Honestly, I would tell you, saw myself doing these type of videos. But, you know, one day I was actually reading the word for myself. God gave me the revelation. I think if you've been following me, mainly on Instagram, it was about Joseph and Jacob. And after I read, he was like, okay, so are you going to share what you've learned with somebody else or with others? And we had a whole back and forth because I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. This is not for me. You know how you've made me. I'm shy because, you know, in the past, I've let people do stuff to me, say stuff, whatever it was. And I just never used to speak up. So, I mean, just trust God. Let him use you. Let him guide you. Whatever it is he's calling you to do, I encourage you to go ahead, trust him, and do it. That is it, y'all. As always, I love y'all. God loves y'all as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one.